Hi everybody, my name is Gert Schwarzenegger, and for this week's project I made a communications tower out of trash. Now for this project I used a plastic toy crane. Now don't worry, I didn't steal it from my kids, and besides, all their toys are mine anyway. I paid for those. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and welcome to the workshop. Let's start off with the construction and the detailing. I used the top and the basket of the crane to make this communications tower. I start off by cleaning up all the little bits of plastic that shouldn't be there. Just cut them off gently. I push the two pieces together and I glue them together with a copious amount of hot glue. Next step are some satellite dishes. I'm going to use soda drinking caps. Please recycle. Yes, that's exactly what we are going to do, Coca-Cola. I make a hole into the caps with a needle tool, widen it a little bit, and then I can fit in a piece of styrene rod with which I can then attach the satellite dishes to the main structure. Now I'm going to do some different designs for the interiors of the satellite dishes. For the first one, I simply cut out a circle out of thin cardboard and I divided it up into 4 parts. I bent the cardboard with my fingers into a concave shape and then I glue it into the plastic with a little bit of hot glue. Let's put this little dish aside and start with the next one. Same principle. We're going to start with a round, thin piece of cardboard which we are going to glue into the cap. For the detailing this time I'm going to use little parts from watches. Simply glue them in with a little bit of super glue. And I also used some electronical components, the same that you saw me use in the previous video, the generator. For the third and final dish I use an old speaker from a toy that was busted up. I glue a cap to the back and a little bit of styrene detailing to the front, and then I used some old bits of sprue to attach the dish to the main structure. I use a little bit of hot glue to attach the small dishes to the main structure. There are already holes into the plastic, which is really handy. Just push them in. A little bit more detailing to the top dish, and then a bunch of rivets. 2mm styrene rod, just cut it up with a knife and attach with a little bit of super glue. Allow to dry, and this is the result. Of course, this material lends itself to a whole bunch of experimentation. You can add a whole bunch of more detailing. I'm thinking cables, antennas, what have you. I decided to keep it simple. Time to lay down a bunch of paint, and we're going to start with a black spray paint, a dry brush with lead belcher, and a dry brush with steel. Satellites get a base coat of medium sea gray, and then for a highlight I mix in a little bit of ivory. I whip out my favorite red Cavalry Brown Bar Vallejo to divide the metal structure into segments and paint it red to give it a little bit of color, a little bit of life. The bottom structure is a little bit hollow. I want a little bit of mass, a little bit of structure there. So I build up 2 boxes out of 5mm foam board. To get rid of the sides of the foam board, I make a 90-degree cut. And then I can simply glue these together with a little bit of hot glue. So everything is nice and tidy. For the detailing I use the same materials as the previous video. The piping is 1.5mm floral wire, 40k bits and a bit of styrene plating. After applying these base coats that you can see over here, it's time to lay down a bunch of washes. We start by applying a sepia wash to the piping, the metal parts. An Ajax Earthshade wash, again to the metal and to the piping. And then finally a black wash. And I just use my fingers to smear it from the top down to make the concrete look a little bit weathered. I also add a little bit of black wash to the eagle to give a bit of depth. And then it's time to attach this newly made structure to the big one with a little bit of hot glue. Push the two pieces together, and then a final bit of washing, again a little bit sepia, a bit of Hydrax, a bit of black wash on a big satellite. And that's it for this project, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, you know what to do. See you soon for a new update here on Dark Matter Workshop. You'll be Mozart, and I'll be back. Bye.